Welcome to another episode of the Metal Roundup. We are here to catch up on some news that's been going on in the metal music industry and also in the YouTube community, because there's been lots of talk recently about copyright and what it means for YouTube channels in a big way. Rick Beato has been involved in some capacity there. Jared Dines is sounding off on that. El Stapari as well. We're obviously very versed in the world of copyright claims because we do reactions. All of our content has some bits and pieces going on there. And TankTheTech has recently made a video all about the monetization of reaction channels as well. So we thought the three of us ought to gather and chat a little bit about that in kind of a nuanced way, as we love to do here. But before we get to that, in other notable bits of news, there's a collab that's been teased. And also has been an amazing Deftones album released recently, which I'd love to get the take on the other lads about. So to start with, there's been a photo released of Amy Lee of Evanescence, Poppy, and Courtney LaPlante. And it was cryptic for a bit. But then today, as of this recording, there's a little teaser clip on Instagram. Have either of you seen that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this sounds like there's a song.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool, right?
I think it's been like anything of this stature is generally leaked. It just is like not the song itself, but the information about it. Like, oh, this song is going to be released on this day. And then usually it's a couple of days later that the official announcement actually comes out. So there was speculation about it in the first place. Then there was the image. Actually, do you know what? It was kept pretty on the wraps as far as I'd seen. I didn't hear any spoilers about it until after the image was posted. And then I started to see like the dates and that it is a song. But I'm kind of more curious to see what transpires after the song comes out. Obviously, it's going to be really exciting to hear the song. I don't know if the official date is announced. I know a date, but again, I don't know if it's an official thing.
What's the date you know unofficially?
I unofficially know the 5th of September.
That's what I've
Oh,
heard.
that's
It was shared on
ages.
Twitter.
I thought it might be tomorrow or something. It's an early tease.
I was hoping it would be tomorrow, yeah, but I think this is a big deal. They got to milk this one for marketing.
I don't know. They could be wrong. A lot of rumors end up being wrong, I've noticed. So
true. Yeah, so it is speculation that it is the 5th. Maybe. We'll see.
But the more you tease it, that yes, the anticipation goes up, but then the quality of expectation goes up, and you're more likely to be disappointed potentially, unless it's a fucking jam.
Yeah, I think is this like the first thing? Like, is this the first? I'm sure there's been many instances with. Has there actually? You know what? Even like I'm thinking of like male-fronted bands coming together, like 3 really big male-fronted bands coming together to do something like this.
The question is, Resolve did a 3-person thing on Older Days with 1056 and Paleface Swiss, but they're not quite the level of
this
Spiritbox
Evanescence. This is a different ballgame, yeah.
So you guys remember the Big Six in deathcore? Happened maybe 3 or 4 years ago. So all the deathcore vocalists got together, Will Ramos, Taylor Barber, a bunch of people got together, and that kind of fell through. They dropped like one song, and the song was pretty meh. So
that's a good one as well. I remember that one. But yeah, I mean, even those 2 examples, this one trumps it in terms of overall like reach and I guess popularity, just objectively. So that's going to be really exciting. And like, what's stopping them if this is a commercially successful thing? Just doing it again. And then all of a sudden they have a spin-off thing where they're all doing a group. That would be sick.
I do.
So unlikely.
They're way too busy with their own projects.
Yeah, I think more likely though is a tour. I could, because you kind of had the Silent Planet Invent Animate collab EP, and I think that was born out of like, let's tour together, and then but what if we did an EP? I can't remember what order that thing came around, but if you think about let's do a tour, it's like, well, if we do a song together, then we could all do it as like a finale on the end of the show. If they did a tour, I was thinking about this. What order would they perform in? I think Spiritbox would have to headline. And I think Evanescence, though highly regarded, probably in current popularity, might go on. I don't know. First, probably. Then I think they would outshine.
I think they would headline still.
Evanescence.
Yeah, they're a big name still. That's my opinion.
Maybe depending on the context, where it is in the world, etc., etc. But yeah, I don't. Why do you think it's out of the realm of possibility that they couldn't make a project like on top of what they're already doing? I know they're busy, but there's other massive bands that do have other projects that they don't necessarily have to be committed to that way. But I suppose something as commercially big as this would kind of have to be a little bit more committed to, not like just like a side project.
If it gets 1 billion views, then sure. Maybe they'll consider it. But it literally just comes down to like, I guess maybe ROI, kind of like it's just a fun idea. I think it's really cool because obviously women have been taking over in metal. The amount of times we check out metal bands and like, oh, another woman in metal, and just like, there's metal bands where the entire group is all just women. So it's really cool to see. And the three powerhouses too. Who else is missing? Haley from Gore, but obviously she's still got her way to work up. Tatiana, that's a big one.
Yeah,
that's definitely one that would be sweet in there. But the one thing about this song that I'm very stoked for it, but the one thing that I feel like people, and including myself, might be a little bit weary of is that Jordan Fish looks like he's producing it, which I don't mind Jordan Fish, especially when it came to Bring On the Horizons material, but he does have a signature sound that tends to be a little bit over polished, which draws me out a little bit.
Except if you think of like House of Protection. Yeah, like they manage to have their own sound. So it depends on how much he fish fingers it, as we've come to call it. I don't mind him fish fingering stuff. He's good. It sounds good. But
we can't make this a thing, surely.
We're gonna make it a thing.
This is the guy that also irked when I said double fisting, and now he's
for obvious fucking reason.
Fingering, that's crazy. Yeah, I think normally I'm a little bit skeptical about these things, and I think a lot of people, I've seen the flip side of it as well. I think people just like to complain. I'm one of them sometimes, but I'm actually genuinely excited to see what they come up with on this, because I've had my what's the word I'm looking for here, when you don't really buy the hype behind like Poppy, for example, with that album. I love Spiritbox's stuff for the most part. Reservations, yes. I've not heard much of Evanescence discography, but I do really like Amy's voice from anything I've heard her on. Pretty much like everything I've heard. She's fantastic. So I'm kind of interested to see what role each of them are going to play, because they're all the front runners of their respective bands. I guess Poppy's the only notable figure, I guess. I don't know the makeup of the band itself, but like Poppy is the individual artist. Right?
Yes.
It's not like a,
the others are from bands.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all the main stage of all of their respective projects. So is one of them going to take more of a center role? It's just going to be interesting to see how the dynamic works. So I'm excited about that.
I think it's going to be Poppy.
Ooh.
In what way?
Really?
Poppy has already worked with Jordan Fish. I feel like she's taking the route, and also she's already done like kind of collabs kind of stuff, and I don't know. It just seems like this is going to be Poppy lead with like Courtney and Evanescence.
I thought you were saying it's going to be pop genre wise. We kind of poppy.
Oh no. The genre is going to be metal for sure, with like some soaring, beautiful operatic vocals from Amy Lee.
I have a feeling it's not going to be that metal. I think it's going to be more of a heavy rock ballad.
I'd love it to be rock elements. Oh, come on. Courtney's got to rip a couple screams in there.
Why not? Might surprise you. Like they'll have this deep and meaningful, three person song together, like to make some kind of point about something. I don't know, but
you want to bet on this, Steve? Again, like last time? I bet that Courtney.
Did you even go through with that bet?
I got a beer.
Okay, well, can we up the stakes a little bit here, lads? Come on, folks. Like 10K subscribers now. We got 2 beers at least.
2 beers,
10 beers.
Yeah,
Courtney definitely screams on this track.
Yeah, I reckon I'm with Burb on that one.
But do you know that? Have you heard the leak or
they
something?
All scream.
No, I have not heard anything. No,
they're not going to all scream. Amy doesn't scream.
They're going to do a harmonized scream, and that's going to be incredible. There's going to be a moment in like a breakdown where they all scream together. It's going to be sick. Trust me.
Does Amy scream though? I don't listen to too much Evanescence.
I don't know, but she's going to figure it out.
Fan, to be honest.
She's had time. Maybe she's learned how to scream, and this is going to be her debut.
Yeah. She's going to figure it out for sure for this. This is her moment to just, I was going to say something so cringe there, but I'll retract myself from saying it. Because have you seen all the people like saying like the mother, the daughter, and what's the thing? The mother, the daughter, and the fuck.
It's all the comments,
mistress. Like all the no.
Yeah, temptress.
The fish finger, the mother, the daughter, and the
stepsister.
What's the fucking thing? What's this and the Holy Spirit? Something cringe like that. People are saying because
I immediately regret saying it.
There's the mother, Amy Lee. There's the daughter, Poppy, and then there's the Holy Spirit, Spiritbox. So cringe, but that's what people are like saying already. So
did you see the incredible meme about AFI? because
Should I know what AFI is? Sorry, I don't know what that is.
okay, yeah, they started out as like an emo pop punk sort of band, and they've changed every album. They have like a new image, a new theme, a new kind of style of music. And Davey Havok, the frontman, will completely change his image entirely. And so he's at one point been a sort of brooding emo kid, and then later on has been a very kind of effeminate looking kind of get up with makeup, and then more recently he looks like a hick that works on a gas station in the middle of America. So he's got like a mullet. No, it's got like a big curly hair thing and a big old mustache.
The thing like
someone's put them together, like when you have to take a photo with your parents, and it's him in different forms. It's fucking incredible.
Oh, really? Dude,
so
that was
good.
So trippy. When I heard that song, I'm like, this is AFI. I literally made a short for it because it was just so crazy. He looks like a 70s porn star now. It's so weird. Yeah.
It's very different. I didn't hate it. I thought the song was all right. It wasn't very interesting, but I thought it was interesting in the way it wasn't interesting.
Oh.
Okay.
It was boring, but not boring.
Yeah. The interesting part was that it was very different. It was fine.
It was good, but not good. You can say that about anything.
Question for both of you to spin it back to the project. Is it going to have its own name, actually? I wonder if it's going to have its own unique identity.
It does. It literally says on their Instagram, it's like official.
Oh, it has like a name for the project?
Oh, not the project. I thought you meant the song.
No. Like, I'm curious how they're going to title it. Is it going to be like... I'm assuming they'll probably use the name recognition of all of them and just throw them all in the title, like this
Poppy
person, this person,
X,
this person.
Courtney X.
No, here's the evidence why I know it's Poppy. Because Sumerian Records has been sharing it, and Poppy's on Sumerian.
Well, I think I think other labels were sharing it as well. I think any label that's involved in the respective bands were just sharing it. I think that was like a cool thing.
Let me see. I could be wrong.
I'm surprised if it Rise.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Shit.
Yeah.
Rise Records, Pale Chord. Okay, fine.
Yeah, they were all getting involved. Yeah, that would make sense. I think it's a three-way collaboration in that respect as well. I'm assuming there's no one like as the A side in it. I'd say it's just a collaborative three-way thing. But
copyright's going to be a nightmare. 3 labels.
yeah.
That's why I'm also like, it's not going to be an ongoing project. Fucking logistically, it'd be a nightmare.
We'll see. We'll have
They're
to
all
see.
different countries. Actually, no, Courtney now lives in California, but wait.
Yeah, but with the way the world works today.
No, they're all American.
Post-pandemic, everyone's just learned to be able to work online anyway, so I don't think that would be a major issue for them. But I'm assuming they wouldn't like just go to all of this efforts to make just, who knows, we'll have to see. This could all be just speculation if it is just one song. But I guess I want to ask you guys a question of what do you make of those naysayers who think that this is just purely a cash grab and it's just like a really manufactured robotic thing where it's like we all have these massive names, let's just get together and do a project. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I've seen a lot of conversation around it. What do you think?
No, I really doubt it. I think it's sexist. Kevin, there's no men involved at all. I mean, when are we going to get a fucking break? I'm stoked for it. I think it's going to be fucking awesome. But I would doubt it's going to be a cash grab. I don't really know what Poppy's sensibilities are like. She's not done many interviews. Amy Lee, I don't really know either, but it sounds to me like Spiritbox very much follow their own creative interest nose. Like that's like when they did the collaboration with Megan Thee Stallion, it wasn't like, oh, we wanted to, just try it out, see what it's like in the hip hop. It was like Courtney's a fucking huge fan of Megan Thee Stallion, and it's like it was that simple.
Yeah.
It's such an authentic moment for the scene, man. It just makes sense because, again, there's more and more women in metal. It's becoming more of a thing. The demographic is slightly changing. But, yeah, it's just a genuine moment. It's not like Poppy is going to collab with Oasis or something and tap into that because Oasis is coming back. This is just the thing that they want to do.
Yeah. It seems like we're going that way with a lot of the way in which collabs and shit are happening. Still waiting for what is it? What is the one that was on the Downbeat podcast where they were talking about Ed Sheeran collabing with, was it Cannibal Corpse or something like that?
Cradle of Filth, wasn't it?
Cradle of Filth, yeah. I don't think that song's been released yet. I'm so curious to see what happens with that and if it actually does come to fruition. Apparently the song's made and everything. That'll be, that's an all-time collaboration for weirdness right there. So,
But it wouldn't be the first time the things get recorded fully and collaborations happen. Just never sees the light of day. You never know.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
While still on the subject of the song, like what we did for Sleep Token Even in Arcadia and guessing what it sounds like, can we do the same for this song and just
I've tried to sidestep betting a beer on this, Burb, and you brought us back.
Let's bet some more. Let's assume some lyrics. How about some lyrics?
Oh,
you think it?
Lyrics.
I think water is going to be involved. They're going to be talking about water in some way.
So big.
That's a safe guess with it being
Tsunami Sea reference.
The last album. I don't know. I have no idea.
Bad bitches? No.
It could. Steve.
Us bad bitches taking over the scene.
If it's like one of these fucking Megan Thee Stallion things that they did as a collaboration, I'm out. That was.
I like that collab.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
why are you such a naysayer, Drew?
Got Drew.
Sake. This fucking baby metal collab as well. I really am just that guy, am I? Well, hopefully this one is great.
Guessing lyrics, fucking Christ!
Yeah,
I mean,
this is silly. Guessing lyrics, I have no clue.
How would
I have
you
no idea. Like thematically is probably an easier way to do it instead of guessing lyrics.
Yeah, my beer bet is sonically, I think if there is scream vocals, I'll be actually surprised. I think it's not going to be. I think they're going to tease that, but surprise people by doing something quite different. I think it's going to be a heavy rock song with some fucking great vocal performances. And I think if there are screams, it's going to be like low in the mix, backing up in a final chorus or something. Maybe they crescendo into one of them. But I don't think it's going to be a heater.
I think there's too much dynamic range across that group to not have screams. It would feel like such a waste to just have them all singing on a track. I'm sure they could still make an amazing song, but like Jordan
Courtney's
Fish involved in the production.
Courtney. I think I'm just managing my own expectations because I want it to be a fucking disgusting heater of screaming filth, and I just don't know it will.
And then afterwards, after this super heavy breakdown, Amy Lee comes in with her soothing vocals and just serenades everyone. That's what's going to happen. Calling it.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see, lads. We'll have to see. I think
maybe it's like an inverted metalcore song, and instead of being all beautiful and catchy, and then you have a heavy breakdown, it's going to be heavy and brutal, and then the breakdown is going to be Amy Lee on her own, just beautiful, and then you finish on a heaviness.
That'd be sick. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Find out next time what happened. Yeah, we don't even know. This could be out tomorrow, and we could just be completely outdated by the time this video drops.
I'd be shocked if it comes out like next Friday because I don't know. It seems like the way that they're releasing the teasers. That's my guess. Yeah. I'm probably completely wrong though.
I hope it comes out tomorrow. Well,
I do too.
To see.
Well, something to look forward to.
Yep. Deftones album.
Yes,
Deftones. What do you think, lads?
What do you think?
I think it was unanimously received as like one of their better albums in the past couple of years, right? I didn't see anyone who didn't really enjoy it. I seen critics enjoyed it. I seen fans of the band really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it despite being Deftones' biggest fucking hater, which I'm not. People are just idiots. I loved it, yeah. There was some great songs in it. I'm looking at my Spotify here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 songs made it to my playlist.
Wow.
I fucking loved it. I thought it was really good. And even the song Milk and Madonna, as predicted, made a lot more sense in the context of that album because it comes right after a kind of a slower portion and then it speeds up again. There's great energy in Milk and Madonna. And I was, this actually is hitting a lot harder. So, yeah.
Did you guys watch the music videos or in the visualizers or just listen on Spotify?
Just on Spotify, I think. This visualizers were really good though.
I did, yeah. I'm so glad I did it with the visualizers because like they're so trippy and they just give some. I don't know. It gives more context to these songs, especially the video for Infinite Source. I think is very visually striking.
Yeah,
best song of the album for me.
So sweet, eh?
I
think it's the best rock song of the year.
It's certainly up there. I haven't yet nailed it up there. Still for me, it's whatever I'll write by me. I think that was just the fucking best. But
that's
Infinite Source
rock song. That is not a rock song, Steve.
It is within the umbrella that is rock. You got rock up here, and then within rock you have pockets of metal and also.
Okay, if that's how you're categorizing it, then no, I'm thinking just rock, like no metal, like this.
Okay,
just because what else has there been? It's been rock is kind of slow.
Stand by. I have a list.
All right.
I don't really even know, but I think Metal Dream was one of my favorite songs on the album. Actually, do you know, I think My Mind is a Mountain, the intro to the album was just fucking incredible. I love that song. The first single was so good. Really good song. It's
the best rock song of the year. Sorry, Satanized by Ghost, I think.
Ooh, yeah, I think that's a better characteristic of, or better description of rock for sure.
Yeah,
I like Deftones more, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd choose Ghosts. Yeah, I would definitely take a Ghost song.
But I think Deftones isn't. I don't know if they would compete on the same playing field as a band like Ghost, or in terms of a rock song like that. Infinite Source, it's got gentle and positivity within it, but it's still like this kind of discordant, unusual land that's not really.
It's got like a metal tone to it in the guitars.
It's got a metal tone for sure.
Yeah, so
it's beautiful.
It's also kind of weird to call it a metal song as well, so that's why it's between that line.
But equally, like above that, I have Bill Murray More Than Hate, and most of that's not metal, but there is some metal.
Yeah, that can fall under a rock song for sure.
Really?
My brother fucking loves that Bill
I thought I
song.
understood the difference between rock and metal, but apparently I don't at all.
More Than Hate, a rock heavy moment in rock music. I feel like a lot of modern metalcore, where it's just like the heavy part's like a breakdown, can be kind of rock. It's pretty much that's just like we can go back to like the 90s or something. Like Foo Fighters All My Life had a screaming section almost in the bridge. It's kind of heavy.
Very, very true. It's a fucking excellent point. Another song I loved this year was Elwood Stray, and a song called Nevermind. And it's kind of it's just a fucking rock song. It's heavy. There's a bit of distortion in the vocals, fairly consistently without it, but it's just a driving rock song. Totally works.
That's a cool band. They're like kind of southwestern feel a little bit, right?
I have no idea. I think they're from Europe.
I've heard like one song that had some cool, like fun 20 riffs. But that's only the one song I heard.
Right. No, they're fucking awesome.
Gotcha. Ghosts are not Ghosts. Deftones was a incredible album. Definitely one of my albums of the year. I still haven't really put all my albums in a list yet to kind of see where I'm at, but it is up there with the aforementioned Ghost for sure.
Wow.
So
Deftones is top 3 for me. I'll give you that much.
I think so. Yeah. I literally I put no thought into it, as in like where each album that I've listened to stacks up. I've not really been paying too much attention to try and like stay on top of every single album that drops this year. I'm just anything that really tickles my fancy I'm going for. Whereas like the years prior, I was like, new album, I don't care about this band, but I just want to take it off the list. So at the end of the year, I have as many bands competing against each other for the top spot. But this year, I'm like, if I don't want to listen to it, I'm not doing it, you know?
Yeah. I titled my Deftones video too, like the most consistent band in the world. And like I had to think about it. I'm like, yep, I think I would die on that hill.
Interesting.
Like the other one that maybe I would argue is the band I always talk about, Thrice, but the Palms is kind of a major minor. But Deftones did write Gore, which I'm not crazy about, but they do have Phantom Bride on that album, which is amazing.
I don't know if Deftones have taken as many risks and changed their sound as much as Thrice have over the years.
That's true.
So when you say consistent bands, what do you mean, like consistently satisfying as a
consistently satisfying and quality?
Okay.
They don't really miss. Even Gore, which is like a fine record, it's still a really good record, but in Deftones' standards, for me at least, I thought it was all right.
I think I listened to Gore once and not again. I need to revisit like that and the Koi one and I don't really know them. They didn't really click for me.
Wow.
First time around.
I think because I'm literally just after wrapping it up, I think Bring Me the Horizon have one of the most consistent discographies there is. All genres encompassed. Like I didn't realize how much I was going to really enjoy the Suicide Season and There Is a Hell. Holy fuck. Some of their best albums, like genuinely, they're
wow. I still
so good. There's a bit of like angstiness. I didn't like the first album and the first EP. It was just too raw. Ollie's vocals are just a bit rough, but he does obviously improve as they go. And I'm going to go listen to Sempiternal again. I've never done a full react on any of the songs off of those albums, but I've heard a lot of them, but I've never really like done a review, sitting down and listening to it. And I had no plans on doing it until I listened to Suicide Season and There Is a Hell. And I'm like so stoked to just, because you can hear that Sempiternal sound forming.
Yeah, man.
And it's like now I'm just stoked to go in and listen because I'm hearing some of the riffs and like the drop C or whatever tuning they're using. You can just hear some of those riffs that are so. Oh, it's like you can hear the early formation of some of the riffs that go on to be some of the most iconic riffs in metalcore, which is obviously off of Sempiternal. And yeah, man, I did not expect. I thought there'd be some fun songs on there, but it's just so consistently fun throughout both albums. Some of the lyrical content is like you can tell they're very early on in their career. Like it's very angsty teen stuff for a lot of it, like about partying and shit. But in There Is a Hell, they mature a lot compared to Suicide Season and the album prior, and it just starts to pull you in instrumentally. It's funny because Ollie is like the lagging factor because he's such an iconic figure now, and he's such a big reason as to why Bring Me are so big now. It's so funny to see back in the earlier days, he was actually the lagging factor in the band. Like he was the worst part about the musical side of things that I was listening to anyway. He was fucking awful in some of the moments in the earlier stuff. Really? Oh, the first album instrumentally was so sick, and Ollie was just like,
the deathcore EP and stuff and albums, not my thing. But
yeah, but I mean, the instrumentals, they've been so good throughout their entire career.
Yeah, that's a good point. But when it came to like Suicide Season, he's like incredibly catchy. Chelsea Smile just mixes catchy so well with the groove of that song. It's so sick.
Yeah, like there is moments in it, but I think Suicide Season, there's still sections of it where I'm like, ooh. Then he really picks it up in the next album. But the point I guess I'm making is that their first album has a lot of fun instrumental moments as well. And Ollie sounds pretty rough. And the first EP sounds pretty rough, and instrumentally sounds great. But the band's always been consistently good instrumentally. So it's just funny that like Ollie was actually the kind of lagging factor in my mind when I listened to them back. He was the one that was actually the worst part of the band in the earlier days. And now he's such a massive part of them today, you know?
I'm following now. It's funny because like he actually did like train his vocals and learn how to scream, and then that's why he started to sing because he never sang in the old stuff too.
Yeah, I'm conscious that Steve hasn't heard the albums yet, so I don't want to spoil too much. But
that's okay.
Yeah,
they've been around it for a while. It's on me. I guess
really great stuff.
So you haven't heard like Sempiternal or like you've heard that album, but prior you haven't heard those.
Yeah, I think I've heard a couple of songs prior because they've played a couple of songs live from albums before Sempiternal, obviously, but live things don't really come across with it. Really heavy stuff doesn't come across that strongly. So there'll probably be moments that I'll be like, oh, I kind of recognize this, but I've never heard any of the albums in full. And if I have heard songs, it's like maybe 1, 2, or 3 on each album. I don't know. I won't know until I hear them, but I guarantee 95% of anything pre-Sempiternal I haven't heard. Because anytime I have, I'm like, not for me. Because this was many years ago when I discovered them around Sempiternal. I was not interested in the heavy stuff. Bring Me the Horizon ended up being one of the heaviest bands I was into at the time. Sempiternal is a fucking masterpiece. I did a recent deep dive analyzing that album, and it's fucking 12 years old, and it sounds fucking incredible. It's still an amazing album. It's absolutely astonishingly good. So cleverly done.
I love the enthusiasm because you're so right.
Dude, Drew, I'm excited for you.
Shadow Moses is fucking amazing.
Shadow Moses is so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to go and listen to it again. It's probably gonna feel like a genuine first reaction again to it. Like I've heard a lot of the songs off of it, but just I'm that excited to go back and listen to it in a different context.
It'll feel like it's new.
Exactly, yeah. But Steve, the pressure's on you now to get
the other 2 albums
done. I would nearly say, because honestly, the only reason I was listening to those albums was to make sure that there was no songs that are very important to not neglect from my top, songs in their discography when we eventually do a discography ranking. And I'm so glad I gave them the time because there's like a handful of songs that I have to consider for my top 10 now. So
very cool. Here's a fun little fact. I don't know if I shared this already, but the song Sleepwalking from Sempiternal is the song that my now wife walked down the aisle to meet me listening to.
Wow.
I remember you told me.
We looped the like quiet intro. Nice, beautiful. And then it kicks into the full band and I looped that bit. We didn't have Ollie actually singing. Kind of faded out before then. But yeah, she walked into Sleepwalking by Bring Me the Horizon, and then we walked out together to A Day to Remember. Because remember's fuck.
Yeah.
Lives up to the name Steve OG Rock.
Yes, sir. You just have to hope that neither of those bands have any controversies now to just tar that moment. Yeah, let's hope for that not to happen. Well, I thought you were going to say there, like, oh, I haven't shared this information, but I've just interviewed Ollie Sykes on the podcast. I was just like, fucking hell.
Oh, man.
I was waiting for that. I was like,
that would be nuts.
Yeah.
He commented on one of my posts and it blew my fucking mind when that happened.
That's
I'm
huge.
I remember that.
I know
yeah.
that was huge. Like he stays like in the
TikTok, wasn't
shadows.
it?
He's like quiet, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa.
I just saw them at Reading Festival. They headlined that for the first time ever, and it was unfucking
Oh
real.
yeah,
I mean,
we didn't
they
spoke
did
about that.
download a couple of years ago, and it was a similar set. This was like their final set of the era of next gen, it seems, before they write some new music, and they just ripped it. They're so fucking good. They're still the best live metal band on the planet, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good.
and maybe the most consistent ever.
Since we haven't
my
talked
opinion.
about them, better than Sleep Token live.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
But here's the important point: like as a whole spectacle, headlining professional, sound quality wise, performance wise, across all the band members, discography, like excitement, thrill, they smoke Sleep Token. Sleep Token's a different thing though. Like they're not trying to be a big spectacle of like, well, maybe they are a little bit actually with their most recent download set, but Sleep Token are fucking great. They're great.
yeah.
Bring Me
Yeah.
the Horizon have been doing this longer. They've been refining it, and they have it fucking dialed in right now.
Yeah,
I
they're
agree.
yeah. A lot of their music is tailor made for a lot of the arenas and environments that they're playing in right now. Whereas a lot of Sleep Token stuff is ballad-esque based and like a lot of piano work, so it doesn't have the same effects for the most part. In that context, maybe in smaller venues, I think Sleep Token work a little bit better, or arenas, but in that
Yes.
like live environment, massive or like
Yeah.
outdoor or events and shit.
Yeah.
I think, but that's all it is. It's context because again, Bring Me the Horizon stands as one of those bands. I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a tough one to beat. But then Meshuggah in a small venue is also like equally as good for different reasons because Meshuggah in a massive like arena or venue maybe wouldn't have the same impact. Still sick, I'm sure, or outdoor. And then
Who
Bring Me-
knows? Have you seen the footage of Gojira when they played this outdoor space? This is like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's this big sloped thing. It's this amazing, almost like a Coliseum sort of thing. That looked epic as fuck. I think
Yeah.
the right environment that isn't just a flat outdoor open air festival, if it's got something of a character about the environment, then perhaps that Meshuggah in an area like that would be
Yeah.
unreal.
Was it Red Rocks?
Yeah, I think I've seen that video. Yeah, I know what you're talking
that's
about.
what. Yeah.
That looks
It's
like
like
a
the
sweet-ass
sloping
venue.
crowd goes up in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
but
looks fucking
Gojira, they do have like anthemic moments and stuff where it
Gojira's
does
fucking
suit
insane.
a bigger crowd, I guess, as well. Whereas Meshuggah is just like fucking big bass. You just want that loud fucking subwoofer sound. Oh, it's just just you want your skull to be vibrating. So outdoors, obviously, you don't get that same effect. I would imagine, but they are seemingly very good in that environment as well. But I guess the context just matters, you know.
Yeah. Going back to Bring Me though, one thing I love is that they don't shoehorn catchy anthemic ideas into their music, yet they're like an anthemic band. It's funny that you said that because you're like Bring Me the Horizon has anthemic moments, and like they do, but they don't go like, whoa,
Well,
whoa.
I hear you
trying to
because they
think.
have so many moments that aren't like that. But I do think the whole like we're going
maybe
nowhere.
I think
What's
to
that
Burr's
song?
point, when they have those catchy moments, it feels like it's naturally transitioning into the song. It doesn't feel like
Yes.
it's cut out like for the sake of it. I think there are exceptions. I think their song "Die for You" is a bit dirt. I don't really like that.
Yeah.
That chorus does
Oh my
head
god,
in.
that is the biggest miss. I'm so
Feels
glad
like
you
it's
called it dirt.
intentionally. How can we make it really catchy? Baby, I would die for.
That
cry
song-
for. I'm just like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, I do feel like with Bring Me, it's that willingness to make a shit song that has made them so good over the years because they are willing to just throw all of their previous experience out the window and say, fuck it, we're making an absolutely shit song called Die For You. And no one's going to stop us, you know?
Oh man, I do not like that song.
Yeah.
No.
But do you guys like Ammo?
That's another album I'm looking forward to hearing
do.
again.
Yeah, I need to get more into that because there's like when they played the song Nihilist Blues live, I was like, oh fuck, I think I get this song now. On the record, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
okay, but in the right environment, whoa.
Remember when I told you guys that that's their best song?
Nice,
Yeah, I
Blues.
know it's a
Yeah.
spicy take, but that song's fucking nuts.
I want to
love
go
that
hear
song.
it now just to doubt.
Yeah. I
Just to
Press
shut me
F.
up.
Sugar Honey Ice and Tea used to be my YouTube intro for like 2 years or some shit. That was literally like the first song that played when my videos came on. And I've never even done a reaction to that. Yeah,
I think I remember that.
yeah. Yeah, that was my thing for a while. But I've never done a reaction to that. I don't know how I heard that song in the first place. I think I just was playing it and I was like, right, this is so sick.
Steve,
Excellent
did you
segue.
have?
Oh, he's gonna ruin
Go
it.
ahead. No, I was
No,
gonna
no.
say- I'm gonna ruin it because I want to know if you have an old intro. Like, did you have an old intro, like a sound or something? Because I had an old intro, like, it was like a guitar lead.
Oh yeah,
and my little burb logo.
I can literally hear it in my head. Yeah.
I don't believe I did because I was never cringe, guys.
You got lucky because you started YouTube.
I got to
when your
watch
brain
other
was
people
fully
fail. And I
developed.
went, don't do that.
You started YouTube at an age where your brain was fully developed, whereas I didn't. So it's like, right, I just got to make all the cringe mistakes, and now I have footage of them online. You know?
Yeah, I'm just joking.
care,
I don't
man.
think it's cringe. I don't think it's cringe. But
I'm
like,
joking, I'm joking.
My
It's-
name is fucking Metal Burb. I live off the cringe.
dude, there's nothing
think
wrong
it's
with it. I think
cringe.
in my head I was like, oh
Because
yeah,
I
it'd be
own it, but
fucking.
at the first, like, ooh, Metal Bird, but Burb? That's so lame.
Well, having a unique name is so much easier to identify you, even like on a Google search. Like when you look at my name, it comes up like author. It's just some random bloke in the States somewhere, and we're like battling for that number one spot. Pisses
This
me off.
is the marketing background in me. I'm like, I
Yeah.
want a name where people know the genre that I'm going to be tackling into, and as well, like, if I just did Metal Bird, you'd find other things too. So I did the Burb.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah, I'm sure when people try and Google me, they're like, "It's Steve was in Jackass. What's this?"
Steve-O.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't do any kind of intro things. I think because I saw that, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And you know what it's like before you start your channel, you're like, I'm gonna make my own brand first, and I'm gonna have a really like cool logo and do all this homework. Like that's what'll make it, and none of that matters. But I just realized early on that if that's in the intro of every video, that's gonna get old pretty fucking quick. So I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But,
And it was also
that's
just
the
at a
other
time where optimization on YouTube wasn't as big of a deal, where it's like you have to get into the video straight away, go, go, go. So like cutting into I think like even still today, like a 5-second intro is probably all right because it does kind of, it's like watching a TV show. If you really watch this person consistently, when you watch like the start of a show, when it comes on, the theme tune comes on, you're like, yeah, ready to go. It just puts you in that like headspace. But now YouTube is so hyper competitive. If you're like giving up 5 or 10 seconds where people are just going to go double tap, you're already losing retention, which is so cringe to say. Well, it's just how it works because if you're competing with fucking thousands of other channels, all of a sudden people are like, well, there's 20 seconds of intro here, and all of a sudden your video is just like, meow. So, yeah.
well, speaking of how it works, let's.
Wait, can we throw a subscribe in there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
get in there,
if you're this far into this episode and you're enjoying this, you want more things like this in your YouTube feed. If you subscribe, you tell YouTube that this is what you like.
Join our Patreon before we get into this. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yes indeed. So where to start? There's a couple of things we could start on, right? There's been a lot of chat on YouTube recently about copyright claims and how all that is affecting reaction channels. There are other music discussion channels and how all that works. But also TankTheTech made a video about music reaction channels and the idea that they're not being very transparent with what's going on monetarily. Which of those would you like to start with, gentlemen?
Oh, God, this is such a massive topic. I think we can, because it pertains to us specifically, we can kind of skip all of well, unless you guys want to specifically talk about like the Rick Beato situation, because that is a whole different thing to what I had.
We'll probably touch on that naturally as we talk about monetization.
Okay.
So, yeah, fair.
So I guess we can start with maybe giving context to like more context.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Anyone who maybe is just a fan of the podcast and has no interest in watching any other content and hasn't seen anything else. Where do we even start? I can go with it and you can chime in if I've kind of got any details incorrect, because it is a lot. So yesterday, our good pal, and again, this is, like I said in my video that I've already made for this individually, this is not intended, at least from my opinion, the lads can chime in. I didn't make my video yesterday to be like, let's make beef, you know? It was more just, I felt that Tank was a little bit tone deaf in some of the things he was saying. And we've had Tank on the podcast before, you know, on this podcast, and he's been great with us. We even chatted to him for like, great guy. I have a lot of respect for the actual content that he makes as well. Reaction videos and all of the industry insight that he gives. Very informative. I think he's a lovely guy from my own experience. That's all I can go by. But he made a video yesterday that I watched, and I was just like watching it. And I was like, I don't want to make a knee-jerk reaction to this and be pissed off about it. I'd actually like to maybe give the perspective of someone who is literally doing this as a full-time job. But summed up, Tank basically was kind of calling out all reaction channels. He made like blanket statements that basically suggested that all reaction, channels, which because of the space that Tank is in, the metal and rock space, he's blanket statement, making a blanket statement that involves every reaction channel on earth. But we're obviously going to feel a little bit more affected by those statements because he's in our niche. So I was like, okay, I'm one of the few people that I'm aware of, specifically in the rock and metal space, that is doing this as a full-time job, which again, I'm very lucky to be doing, and it's the best thing in the world. But I felt a little bit like obliged to just not like be like, fuck you, Tank, you're wrong, but even just to give my own opinion on it. And Tank, to be fair to him, gave statistics of how much he is earning on his channel, because his whole process and what he explained in his video was that basically React channels are not being honest with their audience when they say that they don't earn any money from ad revenue on YouTube, because all React channels obviously deal with copyright claims. So if I upload a video, it gets copyright claimed by the label, and in the past, how it's worked is you just lose all the revenue. Tank has basically explained that what's happened in this kind of like modern era over the last like year or so, 2 years or so, it differs for different people. Basically, people are now getting connections with labels where they can actually have their video whitelisted. So that idea that React channels are not making any ad revenue off of their own videos with copyright claims is kind of null and void at this point, because there is revenue, or there's avenues to explore where you can contact labels and you can be like, hey, look, I've got X amount of subscribers, I bring this amount of views, let's kind of collaborate in a way, and I'll get the revenue from my video. And basically Tank was saying that because this is a thing now, if someone has a Patreon page or kind of promotes their Patreon page and suggests that they're not making any money from copyright claimed videos, they're all lying. And this is kind of the main issue, was it was like a blanket statement that Tank came across with, where he kind of suggested that a lot of React channels are just saying, hey, look, I don't make any money, all of my videos get claimed, whilst in the background is what he was implying. They're going to labels and making money off of the videos already with the ad revenue, and then telling their audience and being disingenuous with the audience and saying, oh, I'm not making any money. But maybe you guys can chime in here. I don't know if I'm even explaining this very well. I'm just kind of yapping here. But
yeah,
there's obviously a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unpack with it. But my main take and why I felt like Tank was maybe a little bit out of the loop slightly. He's very in the loop, but also he's very in the loop, but so far up the chain that it felt a little bit disingenuous in what he was saying, because his figures from what he's earning from his monetized videos are absolutely
phenomenal.
They're phenomenal.
Yeah, they're
fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I made the point to say that he's made $5,000 more from his Electric Callboy videos in 5 years, just Electric Callboy, across his entire like Electric Callboy reactions, like 20 videos he's made. I've made 1,400 videos on my channel in 8 years, so 3 years longer than Tank, and he's made $5,000 more than me. So like the numbers are so massively different, and that's not me saying, complaining in any way, shape, or form. That's not me saying that I deserve more money than Tank. I don't think Tank deserves the money he's getting. It's more just to offer a counterpoint as someone who is one of the only people that is specifically doing reactions full time in the metal and rock space. I'm not making anywhere near that kind of money. And that doesn't mean that what Tank is saying is like void because I'm not making a lot of money. Like, his point isn't about the actual earning capacity. It's just that people are lying. But this is where the issue lied with me as well, because he doesn't actually say any names. So he just blanket statements everyone. And I'm like, I know I don't do that. I know Steve doesn't do that. I know Burb doesn't do that. I know other people that are like full-time doing this that don't do that. So who is he talking about? And it was just this like open for interpretation thing, which I won't say pissed me off, but I was like, this is a fun conversation point, because people who watch his videos, that video has like almost 40,000 views. Like, that's a lot of impact. People are going to like look at that, and because he doesn't name anyone, they're going to almost assume that what his statement is applies to everyone, because that's how Tank kind of makes it sound. He's like, reaction channels are doing this. So without specifying anyone, and I know he doesn't want to call people out, but I nearly would have preferred and maybe respected it a little bit more if he did just say, this person's doing this, this person's doing this, because he's just blanketing everyone,
Or even saying some. But the problem is, we know that you're going to get more views on a video if you say music reaction channels are lying than some music reaction channels are lying, if that is what people are doing. So I get the impulse to do so to make it a more engaging and interesting and clickable thing, which is grand as a concept. But I think where it's quite tricky is Tank is very plugged into the industry. He's proven that over time. Like, he is a very reputable source of information. So when he says something, people will believe it's true because he has a history of spitting truths all the time. And the vast majority of what he's saying in that video is correct. Like, he's there with analytics, he's there with how it works with copyright. It's like it's all, but the problem is there are some things within there that are, because of the blanket statement that all reaction channels are doing this. It's like, but that is not correct. But people will assume, because the implication that is the case. And so it feels like, oh, we're going to need to defend somehow the nuance that is not necessarily in that. One part of it is size of channel, but that's not going like, oh, ours isn't big enough. It's like, well, it's all just relative. And yes, you can absolutely contact labels, and you could do that whenever you want. If you've got one video up, you can contact labels, and some might go, sure, we'll generously spend the time and effort to go in our back end and whitelist the videos for you so you can have clearance to do that. But they're unlikely to until you have an audience. That does take a bit of time. And if you don't do that, then you get claims on all your videos and you will make nothing.
Yeah.
But I think the problem to you, and I agree with you on this point, Guru, is that I've not seen a channel, at least I'm aware of, that's saying I don't make any money off of the reactions and therefore go to my Patreon. I've not seen that happen. Personally.
Yeah, like one of the main points that I wanted to drive home was that I think it was a little bit disingenuous because he's not naming anyone. I just kind of went off of, okay, let's say he's coming at me directly, okay? Because I am one of a few people, I guess, that are doing specifically metal and rock reactions that don't have like a full-time job to support myself outside of my Patreon support and everything else in between. So I was like, okay, let's take the angle that he is specifically calling me out. And I was like, look, maybe I've said in the past in a video where I'm like, I make no money off of copyright, off of the reacts. I just felt like it was a little bit disingenuous if he was specifically talking about me, just in this example, that it would be disingenuous to like take that as like extremely literal and not see through the, this is not saying that I don't say this, but I'm like, on the off chance in a few videos that I maybe suggested that I don't make any video or I don't make any money, I think there's enough, it shouldn't be so black and white, like see through what I'm saying. It means like, I'm making so little money that it may as well be nothing. So the best way you can support me, if you do want to do so, again, it's at the discretion of the audience. And this is another point that he goes into, is like, it was just kind of because of his audience. I don't think he necessarily said anything wrong, but it was like the way he framed a lot of things and the tone of how he said it came across as very like, he's just analyzing stuff. And it was like, what's the actual point here other than like highlighting that other people are making money and almost trying to imply that other people should try and go and like stop them from making money. It came across a little bit disingenuous with some of the things he was saying and some of the things he wasn't saying to like back up other things. And again, with the idea that he's in this position where he has his own full-time job, which is great. And he's also making a very good side living off of YouTube from what he's showing. And he could easily be making a lot more if he obviously had more time to do it without the full-time job. So again, not trying to take like stabs at Tank, but I think it is important to offer other context because it's easy to get dwarfed by a channel that big. My channel is dwarfed in terms of like actual numbers. I know subscriber count and everything, we're like, he's like a third. I'm a third of his size, but numbers wise, in terms of like the views and shit, his videos are getting like 10, 15 times the amount. So it's very easy to just be crushed like a can by his opinions and everyone just believes him now all of a sudden, So I wanted to kind of like speak out in that way. But again, I didn't want to take a weird angle where I got angry about it because I wasn't really pissed about it. I didn't want to. I've done that before in the past, and I regret like the way I handled certain situations. I wanted to take more of a more jovial approach to it, and I think I was able to get my point across better because I wasn't annoyed by it in that way. But I did reach out to Tank in advance and just said, "Look, I've made this video. Wanted to like man to man just say that I'm posting it, so he's not like blindsided by all of a sudden." And he respected it. And he was like, look, I'm very happy for people to make videos about this. I want to see feedback on my videos and shit. So, we had a back and forth that way and it was a cordial thing. And that was about it from my end,
He's a very level-headed dude,
Yeah.
Like he's a good guy. He's good to talk to. I think it's as with anything in life. It's also the reason why this podcast exists is because we learn more by talking to other people and finding out about their experience. And like, because of how fucking well he's navigated YouTube. He's made an incredible platform and reaped the rewards of that, and that's fucking fair play to him. It's fucking great. But because of that, he might not have as immediate an understanding of what the reality is for smaller channels that are not at that level, and maybe not as confident to reach out to labels and build those relationships that he's done early on, right? Because it feels unusual until you hear about it. Until I heard about Metalburb going like, oh yeah, I've reached out to this so and so at a record label. I was like, oh, okay, how does that work? How do we, you have to learn from others essentially, and so it takes a while for you to get into that. So there might be some channels that are saying I make nothing from YouTube because they don't know what the mechanisms are, or like are scared to do so in case you dispute something and then you get a copyright strike, which is actually not, as Tank pointed out, not what happens with those. You just get rejected, and then your channel can go on, unless you get some manual ads like Rick Beato's been in there. But Burb, perhaps we go to you here. What's your take on this? You've got a video coming. Oh, it's already out at the time of this recording. I've not seen it yet, obviously, but what's your take?
My video was exporting for like an hour and a half. So I literally just uploaded it and then I hopped on the call with you guys. So it literally just got published right when we started this podcast. So I haven't seen the engagement or anything, but no, everything, I agree with everything that you guys are saying, but I definitely went with the approach that was a little bit more annoyed, because why is he even making this video to begin with? Like, what's the point? Like, why does he even need to do this? I also said, like, I feel like the metal scene's been like kind of dramaless. Like we've been pretty good in YouTube. Finn McKenty's not doing that stuff anymore, so like it's been pretty civil. So why is this kind of happening? But like, I think I get a little bit. I will stand my ground when someone is, deliberately talking about my livelihood, my career, and I can defend it like wholeheartedly. Finn McKenty did the same thing when he talked about how reaction channels are trash, and then I had to explain to him the value of reaction channels, because there is this notion, and I think we all know it, that a lot of people do not like reaction channels. They think it's lazy content, and it is entry level content. So when people are trying to diminish reaction channels, I'm trying to do my best to change that perception, because we offer value, whether it's like discovering new music, and we really try to showcase the new music and while being honest with our thoughts. It is a thing that's happening within this community, but there's a lot of people who don't watch reactions who just assume that we're kind of trash content. But then when you have people like Tank, who make videos, and he's a very honest, respectable figure in the industry, and then he makes videos like the big lie from Reactors, it makes us look bad, and I don't like that. So I had to defend it. And also I felt like there was this kind of attitude that I'm more honest than everyone else, and I don't really like it, and I called him out in that video. But the thing is, I called him out quite a bit in my video personally, and it's nothing that I won't say to him in person, because I do like Tank. I met him in person, we've hung out, and I think Tank is like that too. Tank is someone who knows how to confront, but knows how to be level-headed, and I'm the same. So I told him before I upload the video, like as well as you, Drew, but like I didn't like the video. Like, I still love you and your content, but this video was a miss for me, kind of thing, as a heads up. So I went in, and it's basically, the fact that he's making so much money on ad revenue is obviously not the case for all of us. We're medium-sized reactors. He is in the same echelon as Nick Nocturnal, Charismatic Voice, and those labels already want to work with them because they have even more reach. They don't really care so much about, especially the small reactors, but they don't care as much with the medium reactors. Sure, we have a lot of connections to labels, but not all of them. Solid State, Fit for a King, Silent Planet, like these bands are always copyright claimed, but we still do them because we love them. Sleep Token, now they're on RCA. We don't make any money from it. I asked my audience, because I was doing it on a live stream, like, how much money do you think I made from my Sleep Token, even Arcadia reactions? They're like, 500, 1,000. I'm like, fucking zero. How much money did I make from my Linkin Park The Emptiness Machine, which is my most popular video? $2,000. Fucking zero. Like, and they were shocked, because they don't understand that a lot of this stuff is claimed. And I also had to reiterate that I don't like plugging my Patreon. We don't like advertising this stuff, but why do we do it? Because the stuff that we do is generally copyrighted. Like, for me, I would say 60% of the stuff I feature on my channel has copyright. The other 40%, sure, I'm making ad revenue, but even then the views are not crazy. They're not the same level as Tank, who pulled in 3,500 USD for House of Protection, which is crazy. Good for him.
That was
nuts.
a massive video. It was
Yeah,
a massive video.
that
would have astronomically
than I
big.
thought he would have earned.
Yeah, but it's so sick that he was able to push a band like that too. But obviously, that's not it doesn't happen very often. But
it also highlights the importance of, or the value of, his video that he did on House Protection. Got over 1 million views on a reaction. That has a massive impact on the ability for House Protection to actually grow. Like, that is a massive video. Like, so he's even highlighting the importance of reaction videos with his own content, and he's been paid, I think, unfairly for it. Like, $3,500 is not a lot of money for it.
It's not hit 1 million. I just like, that's pretty fucking done. No, 855,000 views. Yeah. But that's fucking awesome. Like, well done, him.
Yeah, sorry, bro, I cut across here. Go ahead.
Kind of lost my train of thought.
We were talking about like the Patreon and how Tank is earning a shit ton of money on his YouTube ad revenue, and obviously smaller channels.
Essentially why we plug our Patreon, right? We want people to support us, and I did mention when we do album reactions, which is generally what we put on Patreon. A lot of that stuff is, for sure copyright claimed, but there's a good chance it could get copyright blocked too. So if you do want to support your creator, then, it's optional. You can go to Patreon if you want to watch the album reaction, but you don't have to, but it's there. And I think when people see the effort and love that we put into our videos, they'll just support anyway, which is, we already have supporters for the Metal Roundup, right? Because they want to support what we do, because they love that we're doing something that's authentic and passionate to us. But I think, he definitely was out of touch with this video, and I really went in on it. And if Tank was here with the podcast right now, which I honestly would think that'd be a pretty fun conversation if we had him again.
Yeah, we should have fucking invited him.
Yeah,
that seems so obvious now.
I would say the same thing to him, man. I would say the same thing in person. It's just the way I can. This is my livelihood. I can talk the ins and outs and all this stuff too, and how I'm making money, because it's not easy to make money doing reaction content. We have to do these live streams. We have to do album reactions. We're trying to get creative in ways, because we're trying to go around this copyright. But even if all of our videos are copyright cleared, we're all making money from it, we would still not even come close to the amount that Tank is making, because he's just in a different echelon. He's a different tier. He gets way more views and CPM and everything. Yeah,
it's tricky. What he's very good at and known for is like exposing the truth of the underbelly of the music industry. And so we did this video about reaction channels and monetization. I'm here going, there's nothing to expose. There's like, just none of us are going like, we don't make any money. So if you want us to live, if you're not in Patreon, like, none of us have said that. It's like, I'm just like, what's, but because of, that's what he's good at doing, is because of his experience and knowledge, he's able to expose the reality of what's going on, how things actually work. And it's super interesting. Then when he goes, music reaction channels are lying, people be like, oh, that it must be true across the board. And we're here like,
people who already don't like reaction channels are like, I fucking knew it. And they're in on it instantly,
suck.
It's such a bad look. I knew they were lying. So it's,
if he's referring to someone that we don't know, because he was blanket statement all of us. And that's what I was saying in my video too, is like, you're grouping all of us and painting us with the same brush. Like, that's why this makes us all look bad.
Yeah, I reckon there probably isn't actually a specific person he's talking about. I think it's more because he has inspired it. I think it's because he has insight in the
copyright
industry in terms of like how copyright works. He's kind of like pulled the angle of why reaction channels are lying to you. Now, again, if Tank has a name, if it's me and you have examples, I'm more than happy to be.
I don't think it's anything to do with
again, but that's what I mean. It's like, this is why I don't think there is actually a person, and I'm not like specifically calling Tank out for being like, oh, you're lying about this now. It's more like the way he's framed it is more as like, again, a general, this is a possibility, beware of this with channels. I don't think there's anyone specific. I watch a lot of React channels, from moderately sized to a little bit bigger, but like, there isn't many that I watch or that I'm aware of in the React scene that, like, there's kind of like a big gap between the kind of like medium size and Tank, essentially. Obviously Nick was the other one, but there's not like a big natural gradient of channels that goes like from this size to this size to this size. It's like a shit ton of small channels, a couple in the medium size bracket, and then it's like Tank, charismatic voice. So he's not going to do a video like that on a channel specifically that has like a couple of hundred subscribers or a couple of thousand. So who is he really looking at? It's like some of the medium-sized channels, because he's not going to call out some of the much bigger channels that he might be a little bit closer to. Maybe he is. Again, this is why the blanket statement kind of is a bit rough to deal with, because I'm just speculating. But this is the information that he's given us when also kind of calling out what we're doing.
Orion just texted me. Here we go.
He's just watching
a screenshot of my video. He's ready to watch it.
But yeah, like, Drew, to your point, like, we are examples of, and I think probably I'm at the stage now. I've changed tack a little bit this year. At some point, I think I'm going to make a video about this, because things are changing in my channel's world. That, like, it's been slowly growing. I've been building relationships and starting to be able to have copyright claims released. And so at the moment, actually, I think like 80% of my videos in the last 4 or 5 months are unmonetizable, because I'm working with labels to get them cleared, which is great. But I can tell you, it is not a livable wage. Like, as you know, Drew surfaced in his video, same fucking thing. And tell you what, if you tune into the bonus episode by either joining as a YouTube member or on Patreon here,
we're taking
I will show you my numbers. I will. Well, I don't know if I can screen share it, but I'll show you my numbers.
There's a trade-off.
You can see exactly what it is.
There's a trade-off. I like that.
There you go. But I there's nothing. I don't know that anyone needs to see like all, you know, your fucking bank statements, as it were. No one asks that of anyone in their own professional. You know,
Yeah.
Sorry, you're a builder, so show me your income there. What's your PAYE? No one's doing that. But I don't mind showing it, because like, there's nothing hidden here. But I can tell it's nothing to live off of, especially. And this is circumstantial as well. Like, I live in London. I've got 2 young daughters. I can't afford to. My barrier to entry to be like a full-time YouTube dude is so much higher than the average, because of just the choices I've made in my own life, and that is what it is. Yeah. And so I will need, and thankfully I do have support from people who join my Patreon to help, and that's a massive, massive help. Or they're, you know, requesting things via Twitch. Like, I'm trying to do everything I can to get to the point that it's a livable wage, so that I can do this full time. And I can tell you, if I was just relying on YouTube copyright cleared AdSense to do that, I'd be here for years trying to get to the point where that's affordable.
And another thing too is that a big detail that Tank missed is taxes. In Canada, 30% of that income is tax. So it's not like we're getting that full whatever, like $1,000 from YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if that's relevant, because it's the same with every line of work. It's just ultimately, it's not even about a figure with the way Tank even explains it. It's just more about like people being disingenuous with I don't know. It's just the whole thing to me. It just comes
totally
across
relevant, to be honest, because he's showing the amount of money that reactors are lying about, and like, it's still the money that we get is not even fully ours, because it is taxable income. It's not like it's a salary too, because we're self-employed, where the salary would take away the taxes already for you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't personally see it that way. Like, I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like, obviously that's not the final figure for sure, but I don't think that's the angle that he's like necessarily going with. But again, it's just it's give or take a few £100. It's still the same thing at the end of the day. Like, if he's showing $2,000, or the guy that he specifically showed the Patreon of, which I believe is actually, he donates all of that money in that video that he was showing to like some charity, which kind of just salts the wound that he already made with how
I heard about
bad of a taste that. I don't know how true that is. Apparently the guy who's doing the reactions, did you watch the full Tank video, Steve?
Yeah. Is this the channel he pulled up?
The channel he pulled up. Apparently, I seen it in a comment in Tank's video where someone mentioned that the dude, whether this is true or not, apparently donates all of that money every month to some charity of his choice. So it's just kind of like, and Tank didn't go in on this guy. Like, he wasn't like saying, but he was, again, it's just, why are you on some guy's Patreon showing his tears and like almost kind of saying, you're opening up to people to just be looking at it and being like, well, why is he charging this much? Like, my argument was that people can charge whatever the fuck they want on their tiers. It's their tiers. Like, if they don't have a big enough audience to support those tiers, then it's on them. They need to bring their prices down. It's supply and demand.
Yeah,
it's just how the market works.
I love the way you put it. That it's like, it's a fucking good point. It's like, I can't believe they're charging this. Well, then don't pay that amount. Like, that's like, you know, that's fine.
It's like
that's how commerce works.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. It gets a bit silly, but yeah, my main thing that was just like, Tank is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, creator in the rock and metal scene in terms of a news source, in terms of the ability for him to jump between different styles of videos. He can talk about one thing this day, then he can do a reaction the next day. He's kind of pulling in crazy numbers on everything, like even to a point where he was like outnumbering Nick in certain moments when Nick was still doing it. And Nick has been like the guy for a long time in that space. So for him to just be like, he's punching down so far, it just seems weird. Like there's no one remotely close to him in terms of ad revenue or just revenue in general, I'm sure. It just, why are you taking shots at channels that are infinitely smaller than you over the most minute semantics? Like it's literally semantics. He's saying that people say this when, one, there's no real clear examples of people saying it. I think he's just a professional rage baiter at this point. I think that was Tank's idea. He had the sponsor for the video. He had to make a video, and he's like, "What would be a good thing? I need to get some Raycon clicks here. Let's make this video. This will be spicy."
And then all reaction channels make their own videos, and maybe they'll feature the ad in there, and like they'll get more reach.
Again, like I've had about like maybe in 8 years, I can count on maybe 2 hands, even 1 hand, how many sponsors I've ever had on my channel. Where it's like, we'll give you X amount, and the most I've ever earned from one of those sponsorships was probably like €300, €250 maximum. And I've done maximum 5 in 8 years. So the max figure you're talking is €1,000 over 8 years on like branded sponsorship. So, you know, the numbers he's pulling in, again, I don't want to be like harping on about like, oh, you're pulling in this, so you're earning this amount, but he's earning a lot of money off of those brand deals as well, on top of the really good views he's getting to monetize that. So yeah, I just don't see the need to punch down on people really.
Yeah, but also I think the reason why we're having this conversation is because it was a very general swathe across like music reactors are pushing this on you. It's like I don't resonate with that at all. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's different things for different channels, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't know. But look, I think this is a very healthy way of doing it, and not like trying to bury it, and not being like, you know, insulting. And yeah, I think this is a good way to deal with it, because people said on my video, and I'm sure it'll be the same on Burb's video, where people are genuinely being exposed to this information for the first time ever. And me showing some of the analytics gave a lot of people that were new to my channel over the past couple of years an insight into how much can be earned, which in my circumstances isn't a lot. Now, I haven't been the best at optimizing my monetization across my channel since 2023. I think maybe around the same time as you, Steve, when we had conversations in London, we were kind of like all a little bit more open to the fact that like, oh, there is actually a little bit of extra money you can earn from the videos you're already doing if you can like develop some kind of a relationship with the label. So I've definitely been a little bit more conscious of doing that, and my income from that has gone up a good bit. It'll be interesting at the end of the year to kind of run through that again. I'm gonna look forward to doing something like that to see the difference since I've kind of started to work with them. This is a fun little video, but yeah, I think it's important to make videos like that to even just, I had no problem showing the figures. So I was like, I've nothing to hide behind. Again, if I wasn't paying the tax man, that's where this becomes a whole different situation, because I'm like, well, I kind of want to defend myself, but I'm not paying any tax on this money, so I don't want to show this on YouTube. But because I've got all of my shit in order behind the scenes, I had no problems with like being like, here, well, this is how much I earn. And yeah, people were
You're
in
not
the
paying any
comments.
tax. What are you doing, Jimmy Carr? What are you doing, man?
Yeah, but I mean, like, part of me was like, why am I showing people this? But I was like, I don't feel like I need to show people like the full scale of what I'm earning. I think that'd be a pretty interesting video at some point, maybe. But it's like, do I really need to show every single figure I've earned over a year?
You don't need to. I would say it's not necessary. Again, like you're not asking someone who's an IT dude, like, well, show me your figures. What are you earning? It's just not part of normal society. But if you're making the point of pseudo defending yourself against an accusation that you're in a swathe within, then it makes sense to have that context within there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the problem with it, and why we're having this conversation, is that if we were to say nothing, then it would look like, oh man, he fucking called them out. They didn't say shit. It's like, well, no, that's not what's happened here.
It's kind of forced our hand a little bit. Like, I didn't plan on making these videos and having this conversation. It's a fun conversation to have in general. We did previously.
We want to inform people about the realities of what we're doing,
exactly,
and the value add and how it works, because it's interesting. It's part of our list. But at the same time, we don't go on about it, because every time we do this, I'm like, what is the audience really that's interested in the fucking behind the scenes of how copyright claims work on YouTube videos? Like, that can't be a big. Who wants to hear this? That's why we don't generally chat about it. But
some people do find it interesting, though. And I think it is good to educate people, too, which Tank does a great job at it. And I even did in my video where, like, here, I don't know if this is clear, but this is the copyright system. You got the claim, you got the block, you got the strike. Because people don't know. People, and then also a lot of our followers just assume, like, where's your reaction to this, bro? Well, maybe it's blocked. Maybe
my Lorna Shore reaction is still blocked. It's been like 2 weeks. I can't get it fucking cleared. I have an email. I just can't get it fucking. It's like I can't put it on.
I use Lorna Shore's example too, saying that if you notice, a lot of Lorna Shore reactions came out a day later because it was all blocked.
Yeah. All part of the fun.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we need to add? Because I would hate to have to like return to this in like just because we missed a very glaringly obvious point. Is there anything else that we need to touch on? Or it's probably a little bit more fresh in your mind considering you just did your video. Is there anything that you didn't touch?
Nope.
Oh, there was one little bit. He did sort of imply that it is crooked to accept money to do reactions and then monetize them on YouTube later anyway. There was a slight implication that was not. It's like I would never, be paid, like go on Twitch or something, like be paid to do reactions, or on Patreon be paid to do reactions because you can monetize that. So why would you need to? It's like, well, there's a difference between like the time you would need to spend to do a reaction, something you either don't know if you'll like or not, but also maybe you put it on YouTube and maybe you'll get $1 for that from the ad revenue of some random song you might have enjoyed. So and again, to your point, Drew, it's like you can put a cost to your time, however your time is worth to you and your circumstance, whatever it is. I think that's a separate case.
But also, again, and I've seen people were talking about this in the comments, and it's impossible to not bring this up. One, I have to be genuine about it and how I see it, without it sound like this is like a shot, but it's not. It's just the fact of it all. If that's what he's saying, where he would never take, if that's his principles, because he's already making ad revenue from it, he wouldn't take money from a band to promote it, then the same principle should apply to taking a Raycon sponsorship and monetizing his YouTube video. It's the exact same thing. It's just a different way of promoting something. Yes or no? Open to push back on that. That's how
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I just don't know if his principle
is that he would not, from what I understand from Steve, I don't fully know this point that he made, but if Steve's saying it that...
I could see your thread of thought there. It's like, if I know I'm going to make money off the YouTube video, then you don't need to pay me for the sponsorship. I will just do it and I'll try and make money off the YouTube video.
Yeah.
But
and that money goes to the label or the publisher.
But it's also because he's in a position where the figures that he's dealing with are so high, so much higher than pretty much everyone else in the scene. To be slightly, if that is his main, I'm sure Tank would have some rebuttal to this where he's maybe saying, well, I don't mean this specifically.
I don't think it's exactly the same thing, being paid to check something out compared to being paid to promote something within a video. I think there's slightly different things.
Well, it depends on how you frame the video. If you are paid to check something out and you're going to be completely honest with it and you just post a video and you've been paid to do so, and then you also monetize that video. It just depends on, it all comes down to integrity with it. And he could easily like listen to whatever, the Raycons, whatever. Again, I don't want to like specifically be calling out this example, but it's hard not to when this is in his video. But like he could listen to that and be like, yeah, it's, they're not my favorite thing in the world, but I'll promote it because they're not fucking terrible. So it's kind of like if the flip side of that is, if you were like paid to listen to a song or something along those lines, but you have stated in advance that you're going to be completely honest about your review of it, then I don't see any issue with that for the most part. It's not something that I do on my main channel. There is obviously a whole different conversation that comes into it with like promo and like ads that you can run on your short form content, which I do. I don't hide anything about that. It has to be something that I actually enjoy, or I think members of my audience will actually resonate with. Otherwise, I think it'll be found out pretty quickly. But it's definitely something that could be a whole different conversation, which I've also thought about making a video on. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to dive too deep into that point because I don't know specifically in the video where he said that or how we framed it.
Yeah, no, I noticed that a little bit. But yeah, it was an aside comment. I was like, it's tricky.
Yeah. But if that is his like main principle, where it's like, if you are going to earn money from the ad revenue, then you should not be taking a like sponsorship or any additional money on top of it, then that principle should carry over to the sponsorship that's built into the video as well, in my opinion.
I guess that on his side, probably what his thinking was, maybe people are asking people to pay them to react to songs under the guise of, because I can't make money on YouTube on this, so this is the only way I can make money. Which, again, I've not seen that be peddled as a thing on any channel that does paid reactions, whatever it is. So I just want to clear that up as a minor.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. And again, this is like, I don't want this to become this like tit for tat, like, oh, well, you said this.
We like Tank.
Yeah, again,
he's great. He does so much good for the fucking metal scene, the community, and like telling shit how it is and informing people, including me. Like, I've learned a bunch from his channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I think I get the impulse to make a video like that, but it's just like, I don't know if he completely considered the potential collateral damage of that we're like, okay, that's not accurate in our circumstance. Now we have to talk about.
Like, it was unnecessary video. But at the end of the day, should we plug our Patreon?
Sure. We'll wrap this up. We'll do our usual bonus episode, the bonus content bit over there, and I'll take you through my numbers.
This is unprecedented. I didn't know this was going to happen, so I'm excited for this as well.
Be fun.
So join our Patreon
too. And we'll see Burbs too, right, Burb?
Yeah.
We're not making any money off of this video on YouTube. Trust me. There's no monetization. We're demonetized. So
this whole thing's copyright claimed. All the music we featured in this, we can't make a dime.
Please. Oh, I'm starving.
I'm so poor.
Please. Please come for me. Please don't come for me. Whoa.
$6 a month. You could help a Drew fortune to eat.
Yes. I'm withering away here. Look at me. All right, that's probably a good place to end. I reckon.
This has been fun. I've enjoyed this chat. Hopefully that's been helpful. Tank, you're great. Keep doing your thing.
Come on, we can.
That'd be honestly, that'd be sweet if we had Tank on the next episode.
We'll get Mac again at some point, man. He's a lovely dude. We had a good chat with him before, so we'll do that. Anyway, so hopefully this has been somewhat informative and also fun. Let's see what Poppy and Courtney and Amy Lee do soon. And we'll see if they're talking about water in their lyrics.
And screaming, and you're going to owe me $5. Or no, you're going to owe me a beer.
Which is $5 in some places.
Yeah.
All right.
And just
thanks,
remember,
folks.
I'm starving.
So poor. Help us.
See you next time, folks.
Cheers.
Peace.